Welcome back, curious minds. Today, we're diving into the mysterious world of ancient texts, forbidden knowledge, and the secrets they tried to keep hidden. Ever wondered why certain books were excluded from the Bible? One such book is the Book of Jubilees, an ancient text often referred to as Little Genesis. But why was it banned? What hidden truths did it reveal? And why did certain authorities consider it so dangerous? Stick around as we uncover the secrets of the Book of Jubilees and what its exclusion says about ancient beliefs, knowledge, and power. What made the Book of Jubilees so challenging, so dangerous, that early Jewish and Christian authorities felt it had to be suppressed? What was in this book that rattled their beliefs to the core? Let's start with the book's origins. The Book of Jubilees claims to contain revelations delivered directly to Moses by angels on Mount Sinai. But these aren't just any revelations. This book offers a chronological breakdown of creation and the origins of humanity with a level of precision you won't find elsewhere. It assigns exact years, days, and months to every major event from creation onward. And here's where it gets really interesting. The Book of Jubilees doesn't simply retell the story of Genesis. It rewrites it with its own unique twist, challenging what we think of as one true version of creation. It introduces a new structure to biblical history, dividing time into cycles called Jubilees periods of 49 years each. Imagine a cosmic clock ticking away with every event in human history unfolding on a precise, divinely appointed schedule. That's the world painted by the Book of Jubilees. Unlike the sweeping narratives in Genesis, Jubilees feels almost like an ancient spreadsheet, meticulously charting humanity's journey down to the tiniest detail. From the creation of Adam to the lives of the patriarchs, everything is laid out as part of a preordained, exact plan. But why would this calculated version of history need to be silenced? One big reason: Jubilees introduces specific laws said to be handed down directly by angels, meant to be followed to the letter, with zero wiggle room for interpretation. Dietary rules, marriage customs, and even guidelines for neighborly conduct are described in meticulous detail. This wasn't just a story of what happened, it was a set of commands on how to live, right down to thoughts and actions. And that didn't sit well with religious leaders who were crafting a more universal approach to faith. Jubilees wasn't simply retelling history, it was redefining authority. And that was a challenge powerful enough to push this book to the margins of sacred scripture. The Book of Jubilees presents a daring alternative to the familiar scriptures, a roadmap supposedly laid out by angels that goes well beyond what's in the canonical books. For early Jewish and Christian leaders, this text wasn't just controversial, it was a threat. Why? Because it proposed a version of God's law that didn't depend on their interpretation or authority. If Jubilees had been accepted into the canon, the church and rabbinical authorities would lose their exclusive hold on Scripture's meaning. And then there's the Sabbath. In Jubilees, the Sabbath isn't just a day of rest. It's an eternal covenant marked in the heavens, a cosmic rule to be observed by all of creation. No matter what the human calendar says, every seventh day is sacred, period. Leaders who followed a lunar calendar and a more flexible approach to the Sabbath found this rigid view extreme. Jubilees rejects their approach entirely, enforcing such a strict Sabbath that it would have been politically unthinkable to accept. Imagine a community bound to an unbreakable divine calendar, completely isolated from surrounding cultures who followed different lunar cycles. For the rabbis and church fathers, this was too rigid, too dangerous. But here's the twist. The Book of Jubilees never truly vanished. It resurfaced across various religious texts over the centuries, even finding a home in the Ethiopian Orthodox canon. So why has this dangerous book persisted? That's one mystery that makes the Book of Jubilees so intriguing, even today. In the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, the Book of Jubilees is not just acknowledged, it's celebrated as part of their Holy Scripture. Why? Because it presents a unique version of biblical history, a narrative filled with angels, divine laws, and cosmic plans that the Orthodox authorities deemed too radical to ignore. But what makes Jubilees so remarkable? It introduces something that many people have never heard of, a forbidden calendar that challenges everything we know about sacred time. This isn't just any calendar. It's a precise 364-day solar cycle that the book claims was established by God Himself. So why is this calendar so scandalous? Because it clashes head-on with the traditional lunar calendar that has long defined Jewish rituals and has been absorbed into Christian practices. The Book of Jubilees presents a calendar designed to anchor every sacred festival and observance, aligning all of creation with a divine rhythm. This cosmic order is so exact that nothing can alter it, not even the phases of the moon. This 364-day year is a bold declaration of divine order, standing in stark contrast to the lunar cycles that many religious traditions follow. It's a captivating glimpse into a radically different understanding of time and spirituality, one that challenges the very foundations of how we view the sacred. Imagine a calendar so unyielding that it consists of 52 perfect weeks, with no leap days or adjustments, leaving no room for uncertainty. Unlike the lunar calendar, which is flexible and requires human intervention, this 364-day solar cycle is absolute. It positions humanity to exist in perfect harmony with the celestial order, eliminating any chance for human error or alteration. Think about how radical this concept is. A calendar that doesn't budge for anyone, demanding that humanity aligns seamlessly with the cosmos, no compromises allowed. This isn't just a method for counting days, it's a divine mandate, a timetable ordained by angelic forces that humans are expected to uphold. If people were to follow this 364-day calendar, they would set themselves apart from everyone else. Those who adhered to it would become outsiders, their sacred days out of sync with the rest of society. This would create a hidden community bound by a cosmic timetable, living with different Sabbaths, unique festivals, and distinct cycles. They would stand apart from other Jews, Christians, and pretty much everyone else. But with this separation comes a profound question of loyalty. Who would be brave enough to live by such a strict, unyielding schedule? Would you dare to embrace a path that sets you apart, forging a unique relationship with the divine order of the universe? Imagine a divine clock that positions humanity in opposition to the religious majority. But that's just the beginning. This calendar aligns the entire creation story with a precise rhythm, almost suggesting that humanity was designed to fit within this fixed, unchanging cycle. Days, weeks, years, they're all preordained, each carrying a significance that goes far beyond mere timekeeping. In the world of Jubilees, every single day is sacred, meticulously numbered and filled with meaning. The universe isn't left to chance. It's structured by divine forces and overseen by angelic beings who insist that time stays strictly on their terms. This rigid framework made religious leaders deeply uncomfortable as it threatened their authority. If you adhered to this calendar, you weren't just picking different days for festivals. You were obeying a cosmic command, a heavenly ordinance suggesting that human life itself is woven into this system of time. It challenges our understanding of free will and the belief that we dictate how we observe time. By banning the Book of Jubilees, leaders essentially erased the notion that time is divinely structured, casting humanity as mere passengers on a cosmic journey rather than the navigators. But here's where Jubilees takes a dramatic turn from traditional biblical narratives. We're not just looking at a retelling of Genesis or an ancient calendar. Jubilees dives headfirst into a storyline about angels that radically redefines the origins of evil and the very nature of humanity. This isn't just folklore or allegory. Jubilees presents these ideas as cosmic fact. The book explores the actions of the Watchers' celestial beings who didn't just observe humanity. They intervened, crossed boundaries, and unleashed chaos on a scale that the traditional Bible only hints at. So, who are these Watchers? They're not your typical choir of angels or obedient servants of God. According to Jubilees, they're a unique group of heavenly beings sent to Earth with a mission to guide and protect humanity. But instead of fulfilling their role as guardians, they became entangled in human life in ways that not only breached divine order, but also sparked a full-blown rebellion against it. These watchers took human wives and fathered. What happened next would change the course of humanity forever. The Book of Jubilees introduces us to the hybrid offspring known as the Nephilim giants, born from the union of angelic beings and humans. These powerful beings were not only the product of divine intervention, they were taught forbidden knowledge skills humanity was never meant to possess. They learned to forge weapons, delve into astrology, and practice enchantments, effectively catapulting humanity into realms of understanding that brought them perilously close to godhood. This isn't the comforting image of angels we often imagine. These beings were outlaws, cosmic rebels, who broke the very laws they were meant to uphold. The consequences of their actions were catastrophic. The Nephilim, born from this angelic human union, became monstrous and violent, an existential threat, not just to humanity, but to the very fabric of creation itself. They were more than just larger-than-life figures. They were embodiments of corruption, a twisted blend of divine and human that defied God's original design. So, why was this narrative seen as such a threat? For one, it shifts the blame for human sin and suffering away from humanity itself and places it firmly on the shoulders of divine beings. The notion that humanity's fall wasn't solely a self-inflicted wound, that celestial beings had a direct hand in corrupting creation, is explosive. It suggests that evil is not just a human failing, it's a cosmic rebellion as well, challenging the traditional understanding of morality and responsibility. This radical perspective not only redefines the origins of evil, but also forces us to reconsider the very nature of free will and the complex interplay between divine influence and human agency. It's a narrative that shakes the foundations of how we perceive our own story within the cosmic order. When we explore the teachings on sin and redemption in Jubilees, a provocative idea emerges. What if sin is something seeded by celestial beings? This raises profound questions about human nature, accountability, and the very purpose of salvation. Are we merely collateral damage in a cosmic battle that began far beyond our world? But here's where Jubilees takes an even more radical turn. In this narrative, God doesn't just punish these rebels. He establishes a cosmic prison. The Watchers are bound, held in eternal chains, awaiting judgment. Yet, their influence doesn't simply fade away. According to Jubilees, their corrupting knowledge and legacy remain embedded within humanity, as if their rebellion has left a permanent mark on our collective consciousness. What does this say about human progress, technology, or our relentless pursuit of knowledge? If we embrace the perspective of Jubilees, the human drive to push boundaries, explore, and conquer the unknown isn't solely our own. It's a cosmic inheritance from these fallen beings, a legacy that is as much a curse as it is a gift. This forbidden knowledge lives on, suggesting that humanity carries within it a divine rebellion, a tension between divine order and the allure of the forbidden. It's a fascinating and unsettling idea that challenges us to reconsider our place in the universe and the nature of our own aspirations. Are we pioneers of progress? Or are we merely echoing the rebellious spirit of those who came before us? Perhaps that's exactly why the Book of Jubilees was banned. It doesn't just challenge established doctrine, it rewrites humanity's narrative, portraying us not just as victims or sinners, but as pawns in a cosmic power struggle. Is that what ancient religious authorities wanted people to believe, that there's an ongoing spiritual battle with humanity caught in the middle, forever linked to beings who defy God? For those who compiled the Bible, excluding Jubilees from the canon might have been a way to contain the nature of evil and humanity's connection to it. If you accept the teachings of Jubilees, then sin and rebellion become woven into our very DNA, a divine conflict imprinted on the tapestry of human history. The Book of Jubilees doesn't just redefine creation or recount angelic rebellions. It introduces a level of obedience to divine law that far exceeds anything found in traditional scripture. Here, the Sabbath isn't merely a weekly day of rest. It's a cosmic law, a command written into the very fabric of the universe. According to Jubilees, the Sabbath isn't optional or flexible. It's a divine decree that shapes the rhythm of existence itself. This radical perspective not only challenges our understanding of morality, but also compels us to reconsider our relationship with the divine. Are we merely players in a grand cosmic drama, or do we have the agency to rewrite our story? The implications of Jubilees extend far beyond ancient texts. They touch the core of what it means to be human in a world filled with spiritual complexities. The Sabbath and Jubilees isn't just a suggestion. It's an eternal, universal rule, one that's not open to human reinterpretation. This sacred day, occurring like clockwork every seventh day, is non-negotiable and applies not only to humans, but to all of creation. But why is this so significant? Because in Jubilees, observing the Sabbath according to its strict guidelines is a litmus test for loyalty to God. It's about aligning yourself with the divine, tapping into a cosmic rhythm that connects heaven and earth. For those in positions of power, priests, rabbis, and even early Christian leaders, this unwavering adherence poses a serious threat. Jubilees leaves no room for flexible interpretations or adaptations. To follow it means living in direct opposition to the religious authorities, who maintain their control by shaping and interpreting the law as they see fit. But Jubilees goes even further than just the Sabbath. It plunges into a comprehensive set of laws that are stricter and more binding than anything traditional Judaism or later Christianity would tolerate. These laws encompass everything from dietary restrictions to purity laws and marriage regulations. This radical framework not only challenges the status quo, but also redefines the very essence of religious observance, making it clear that true loyalty to the divine requires uncompromising commitment. In a world where authority relies on interpretation, Jubilees demands a radical rethinking of what it means to live a life of faith and obedience. The Book of Jubilees goes beyond simply preserving an ancient way of life. It lays out a detailed set of instructions meant to keep its followers completely distinct from the religious mainstream. For those who adhere to its teachings, the rules aren't just suggestions, they're absolutes handed down by God through His angels. This rigid framework is likely what led to Jubilees being banned. For anyone in a position of religious authority, a text like this is a nightmare. It tells people exactly how to live, eliminating the need for interpretation or priestly intervention. You don't need a rabbi to explain the Sabbath. Jubilees makes it clear and demands exact adherence, no exceptions allowed. Such strict observance would inevitably isolate Jubilees followers from other communities, fostering a unique identity that stood apart from established religious institutions. And here's the kicker: the laws in Jubilees make a direct connection between obedience and divine favor. Break the Sabbath, violate the dietary laws, or ignore the purity codes, and you're seen as directly opposing God's will. There's no gray area, no room for context. This extreme stance posed a direct challenge to religious leaders who thrived on their control over interpretation and practice. By laying down the law so unequivocally, Jubilees empowered its followers in a way that threatened the established order, making it a formidable text that simply couldn't be allowed to exist within the accepted canon. The Book of Jubilees is a Jewish text that retells the history of Genesis through Exodus, adding unique details, timelines, and moral interpretations. Often called Little Genesis, it covers the creation of the world, the lives of the patriarchs, and significant events up to Moses. But what sets it apart from other biblical books is its focus on divine laws, angelic instructions, and the belief that these teachings were handed down from heavenly beings. The text is broken down by Jubilees, periods of 49 years marking historical events and focusing on obedience to God's law as the path to salvation. Welcome to Blessovia Science TV, where we take you on an exhilarating journey through the cosmos and unravel the mysteries of science. We are excited to offer you the opportunity to become a valued member of our ever-growing community of cosmic enthusiasts and knowledge seekers. Exclusive access to cosmic content. As a member of Blisovia Science TV, you will gain exclusive access to a treasure trove of cosmic content, including documentaries, interviews with leading scientists, space missions updates, and awe-inspiring visualizations of the universe, live Q, and sessions with experts. Your membership will grant you the chance to participate in live Q and sessions with renowned scientists, astronomers, and space explorers. Get your burning questions answered by those who push the boundaries of human knowledge. Embark on a journey that spans the cosmos and join us in unraveling the secrets of the universe. Become a Blisovia Science TV member today, and together we will reach for the stars. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, and share. Don't forget to leave your comment.